Communication models have proven to be extremely useful in explaining the human communication process. Typically, in these types of models, there is a sender, a receiver, a message to be communicated, and a message channel in which the message can be communicated through. There are a bunch of different types of communication models, but one of the things that makes each communication model different is the different aspects accounted for in each conversation. Some models account for a power dynamic between senders and receivers, and others do not. Some account for verbal or nonverbal interaction, and some account for just verbal interaction or just nonverbal interaction. I have decided to create my own communication model to better explain this concept. My model is a model of interpersonal communication, which is defined as communication between two individuals and the process by which people exchange information through this by meaning of face-to-face interaction, and this can be verbal or nonverbal. My model actually focuses on the nonverbal communication system between two people. Here we have two people, student number 1 and student number 2. Student number 1 is both a sender, a receiver, a coder, and decoder. And student number 2 as well is a sender, a receiver, a coder, and a decoder. We have a message and feedback channel, and then we have outside noise. Also, what's a little different from this model than others I've seen before are that this model accounts for facial expression. So say these two individuals are in a classroom. As students, we've all been in this situation before where we're sitting in a classroom, there's a little bit of noise going on around us, and the professor tells us that it is about to be time to pick a partner. He gives us a couple minutes to do so, but no one's really talking, everyone's just looking at each other. So student number 1 looks at student number 2, raises his eyebrows, or maybe makes a facial expression, anything to communicate the question, will you be my partner? Now, although no words are being used, a message is being sent through the message channel, and student number 1 receives it and decodes it. Or student number 2 receives it and decodes it. Student number 2 knows exactly what student number 1 has just said without any type of verbal communication. Now, student number 2 wants to communicate the message that, yes, I will be your partner. So he or she shakes his head and looks at student number 1. In this context, it is easy for student number 1 to receive the message and decode it. Now, this model of communication is a little bit different from others that you've probably seen, but the same deal applies. There's a message to be sent and received, encoded and decoded through a message channel and a feedback channel, and there's surrounding noise.